Well, hello everybody, and welcome to another Vegematic show. Now, this week has been kind of strange. Of course, the last few weeks have been kind of strange. The last couple of years have been kind of strange. But I'm still here. The world's still spinning around. It might be off on its axis a little bit, but it's still, last time I checked, the moon's still up in the sky. And I think we all need a mental health break these days from the issues that we're facing, because it's overwhelming. And you gotta pick one. Is it creeping fascism that you want to deal with? It's a horrendous climate change, fascist government. I mean, is that what we have to look forward to? I say, well, maybe the overpopulation. Yes, overpopulation. It was a thing in the 70s. They talked about it. Nobody talks about it anymore. Well, we talk about food shortages. Lots of food shortages on the way. Of course, I watched Hambone's video. I was walking around the grocery store, enormous things, gigantic grocery store filled with every which thing you could imagine. And I thought to myself, how incredibly spoiled most North Americans are. What happens when these products start disappearing from the shelves and things keep getting pricier and pricier? And well, I would say make billionaires illegal. You take all their money, leave them with a couple of million. That's enough for anybody. Just, I don't know, make it illegal. Simple as that. Take all that money. Oh, military contractors too. Take all their money. I mean, after they've been bleeding everything dry for decade after decade after decade. And what do we do when they say, that's it, no more cash? We're not accepting cash anymore. Well, I guess welcome to the total surveillance society. Yes, this old guy still uses cash. Although some places they look at you like you're a criminal if you use it. So I just like to take a 20 out and say, here. And I'm like, will that be on your phone, or will it be, and will it be on your credit card? And no, it's cash. Remember that? And these younger cashiers, they don't know how to give change properly. So I got this comment from a fellow named, I think it's Greed First, Algorithm Last, or Algorithm First, Greed Last. You see, I mix things up. They jump from one side of my brain to another. But this fella is claiming that I'm just a kid, that he's 73 years old. And bravo! It means you've lived life to the fullest. And he certainly has, because he was recalling when he actually saw Cream live at the Whiskey A Go-Go in 1967. I was blown away by this because I'm fascinated by hippie history, because I just kind of caught the tail end of it as I was growing up. I didn't get the full effect of the summer of love and peace and all that stuff. A lot of that kind of went by the wayside at something called Altamont, but I was too stupid to realize it at the time. Well, young kids, they get pushed down the primrose path often by all this kind of weird literature that's out there. It used to be weird literature. Now it's weird shit on the net. Man, I don't know how these kids today can keep their brains focused, or is this generation going to be completely ADD, like completely unable to even confer with somebody, unable to act in person because everything's going online? Too much doom scrolling is very bad for your mental health. Rather than scrolling the internet for doom, perhaps you could get outside and enjoy the air for a while, and what's left of it, and not worry. I mean, what? Me worry? I gave up worry. In my life, about 90% of the things that I worried about never happened, so there's that. But also, it takes too much energy to worry. So from here on in, I'm going to be worry-free as soon as I get my lobotomy done. We can still choose individually to make this world a better place. It's not easy. It's not comfortable all the time. But we can do it if we really put our minds to it. And you can't save the world. That's not our job. Our job is to save our little corner of the world and do whatever we can. This is why I admire people that pick one cause and instead of being all over the place. Because when you look at things globally, of course it's hopeless. It seems hopeless. The path we're on is, of course, dangerous, depressing. And I absorb tons and tons of news from all kinds of sources. And it's very bad for your mental health. You get addicted to outrage and it doesn't get you anywhere. So don't get addicted to outrage. There's tons of things for us to be outraged about, certainly. But be outraged in a good way, in a positive way. Be outraged in a way that turns that outrage into action, doing something that might change. You don't know. The smallest act of kindness may change things around. They may, if everybody learned kindness, our common humanity might shine through. And maybe we would have a chance of surviving if we could get past the greed, the selfishness. But it's not going to happen because human nature seems inherently flawed. It's almost like we're reverting back to an earlier age of dog eat dog, and dog doesn't taste very good. So I've heard. They eat a lot of dogs in Korea, I think, places like that. Well, I don't want to be depressing. I'm fighting being depressed, because when I'm depressed, I'm no good to anybody, especially not myself. There's some political stuff that, yeah, this matters. These people are lost. The people that are running things are just as lost and at odds with what to do, or have any idea, because of the systems of greed that have been built up. And the systems of usury and the systems of debt, constantly buying shit you don't need. There's a great movement. I don't know how many garages across Canada, across the United States, Europe, have all kinds of items in them that might be of great use to somebody. And I think with the cashless society on its way and the surveillance and everything, I think people will increasingly rely on barter, which is a good thing. I'm an old man. Here, I'll give you this tool that I no longer use if you clean out my gutters. It's just a matter of learning to step outside the capitalist money machine that's got us all on the treadmill, trying our best to keep up. And greed, I guess it can never be satisfied. It's just growing and getting larger and larger. And at what point does it become psychopathy? At what point does it make any sense for these people to have so much? And how could somebody sleep on their fancy feathered bed on their $100 million yacht and sleep at night and think that their life has meaning? It has no meaning. I think life for a homeless person probably has more meaning than for a billionaire who's never satisfied. It doesn't matter how much they have, they want more and more and more. And if they can't find more, they'll extract it from, you guessed it, the working class and the middle class, and they increasingly siphon off more and more of that wealth. This is what I've seen all my life. I used to be an angry young man, but that was a long time ago. The anger gives way to disgust, and the disgust sometimes gives way to resignation, which is probably the definition of a doomer. I don't want to be a doomer.